Hello, humans of the internet. It is I, and the dog, and a guitar, and also a Beatles cup with instant coffee in it, 3-in-1. I bought this while I was in Budapest. It's an American brand, so it's not like specific to Hungary, but I bought like 10 packs of it. Anyway, that's not what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about tea. And not this kind of tea, although this is coffee. You can also drink that other tea out of a cup. We're going to talk about a tea that you can't drink out of a cup, which is testosterone. Specifically in regards to hormone replacement therapy, specifically regarding my own hormone replacement therapy. I have gotten so many questions, so many people asking me if I can please make an update on how that's going. And by now, I really think that people have just given up because I've been on it for almost a year and a half now. I started in February 2018, 7th of February to be exact. And I made 2 videos about that when I did pick up my testosterone, so you can watch those if you want. And then I did say that I would make updates, excuse the bottles, I did say that I would make an update every 3 months, which didn't happen. I made an update after the first 3 months, but then nothing after that. I was planning to do a 1-year update, but that just didn't happen, evidently. And now I think people have just stopped asking because I never got around to keeping you updated. And I feel like with so many other trans YouTubers, although I don't like being called that, but I guess technically that's what you could call me. Or other visibly trans people on YouTube or on social media in general, they share like the transition and the updates and stuff. Not that I haven't shared my transition, because I've been on YouTube for a while now, so you've kind of gradually seen my transition anyway, but I haven't sat down and be like, hey, these are the changes that I've been experiencing, here's a voice update, and I was planning on doing that. I did film like a voice update. This is my voice, so and so many months on tea. I filmed that every month, and then I stopped at 1 year. And then I was planning to sort of make at least a little montage of that. But again, never got around to it. And that is, honestly, not because I'm like ashamed. Because to be truthful, I have struggled with that before, like talking about being trans and stuff like that, but this actually hasn't been the case for why I just haven't made those videos in regards to my transition with hormones. It's really just because it's like, I don't know how to phrase this without it sounding weird, but it's just not as exciting, or like it's not as interesting. I don't think it's interesting enough to make videos on it. Also because there exists hundreds and thousands of testosterone updates from other people on YouTube, and I just thought mine weren't necessary. And it's weird because pre-testosterone, I watched all those videos all the time, and I was kind of obsessed with them. And then I eventually did start testosterone, and the day I got tea, I kind of realized, like, this isn't exactly how I thought it would be. Well, it was just such a weird, kind of a surreal experience, because I'd seen all these people online and how they, like, transitioned and how they transformed and how they changed. By the way, did you know that I heard that Putin called transgender people transformers? I thought that was kind of funny, but anyway, off topic. Right, I'd seen all these people online and looked at their transition and their transition updates and like montages of their transition, and it just felt like that was so far away from my own reality. Like, it just felt like these distant people, some of them like famous people on the internet making these videos, and it felt completely disconnected from my reality. Although it's just something that I desperately wanted and desperately needed, but I never truly thought that I would be able to experience that myself. And then the day came when I actually got my testosterone, and I sat there and kind of realized that these changes won't happen like they do in the videos. Because in the videos, it seems like everything like happens so fast. Within like in the course of 5 minutes, this person has completely transformed. But now I realize that this is my life. This isn't a 5-minute video on YouTube. This is my actual life, and things are going to be, or they're going to feel pretty slow right now. Something that I hadn't really thought about when starting testosterone, because I kind of saw that as like my goal, like that was the goal. And then the day came when I hit that goal and I started testosterone, and nothing changed. I was the exact same as I was the day before. I just smelt a bit of alcohol when I went to school that day because I'm on the gel. I've been on the gel the entire time, and it smelled a bit like alcohol, which I thought was funny, and I made a joke to my best friend like, hey, I've been drinking. I don't know if she could really smell it though, but anyway. That's not too interesting, but it was just a weird feeling, like, my life had to go on. Like, I just had to continue the same life that I had before, and obviously it wasn't, like, the same, because after a while changes did come, but in the start, it was a relief to think that I'd finally gotten the testosterone, but at the same time, it was like, what now? I never really thought of what would happen afterwards. Or I thought of the changes, but I didn't really consider that this was my life and it would be slow. Now I'm just repeating myself at this point, but yeah. So when changes eventually started coming, it didn't really... I mean, I was very happy about it when my voice started breaking and all that stuff, but it just felt like puberty, like it was just my life. I don't know, it just felt kind of weird documenting everything because I just didn't find it all that interesting. Don't get me wrong, like, it was interesting in the sense that I was really happy about it happening because over time my dysphoria lessened, and I'm so incredibly grateful that I was able to start T when I did, because if I hadn't, I'd most definitely be dead, and that is me being completely honest. I was in a really terrible place. So it's not that, like, it wasn't interesting to me and that I didn't care, because obviously I did care a lot, but it wasn't like I saw in those videos. It wasn't that, like, I didn't just suddenly one day wake up with a deeper voice and be like, well, hey, it happened. Because if that had been the case, I'd probably be a lot more excited about it and be like, guys, guess what? I woke up this morning and now my voice sounds like a biological male's. Then I'd be very excited about it and probably do a lot of, like, I don't know, a lot more comparisons and things like that. But that's not how it happened. It just happened over time, and I just started living my life, I guess. Also, another reason why I haven't really posted about it is I was very lucky in that a lot of my changes happened very fast compared to a lot of other people. And some people have said that the gel type works slower than injections, as like a general rule or whatever. That was not at all the case for me, at all. But everybody is different, and everybody is different. Everybody, get it? Right, anyway. And I knew that my changes happened a lot sooner than a lot of other people's usually do, especially on gel, because I guess it may depend on the type of, or like the brand of gel, or just how the body like absorbs it, but I didn't want to really come here and talk too much about it because I didn't want to give people that expectation. Because again, I was lucky, but I didn't really want to go into details about it because then people would expect the same thing. Like, my cycle Shark Week will stop after this and this long because that's what happened to Kovu. And my voice will start dropping after this and this long, and this is what I can expect by this and this month. Of course, there's like a rough idea of what you can expect and what will happen roughly when, but one person's journey, if I can call it that, isn't a general thing, because everybody's body is different. And I just feel bad if I gave those expectations to people, which probably in most cases wouldn't happen or wouldn't be fulfilled, if I can put it like that. So yeah, that's another reason, I guess. But honestly, mostly just that this is my life. I haven't really thought of talking about it much because it's just my life. it's just how I live, and I barely think about the fact that I'm on testosterone anymore. Like, even when I put it on in the morning, it's just like brushing my teeth or taking a shower. Like, it's just a routine. I don't really think about why I'm doing it. And I know that for some people it would cause them to feel more dysphoria, because they'd think like, I have to put this on because I wasn't born a biological male. And I completely understand that that may be the case for people. But for me, for some reason, I just don't think about it. It's just like brushing my teeth. And how, I think just how I see it, like maybe a bit subconsciously in my brain, is I just have like some type of condition where my body doesn't produce enough hormones. And I have a lot of friends, like cisgender friends, who also have this. Like, they need to take hormones externally because the body simply doesn't produce enough. Like, a biological female who identifies as a girl who needs to take not only estrogen but also different, like, a cocktail of hormones, because her body simply doesn't really produce enough of what she needs. And that's just how I see my thing as. I really see it as just a completely kind of, I don't see it as abnormal as I used to. If I start thinking about it too much, I do get really insecure and dysphoric and sad, but in my day-to-day life, I don't really think about it anymore. And again, I guess that's why I haven't really made any updates on it, because if it was weird to update on that, as, again, it's just a part of my life. Like, it's just how I'm living. I don't see why I should make a big deal out of it now. And I'm not trying to, like, shame people, or I'm not trying to insinuate that the people who do make updates about it, like, that they are wrong, or that they are, like, too excited about this, or something about that. I don't know. Because for me, it was so incredibly helpful pre-transition to see all of those updates on how people were changing both emotionally and physically and in all sorts of ways, and that was extremely educational. So please do keep making videos like that. But at the same time, don't expect every trans person to make videos on that, I suppose. I feel like some people almost feel like people who are kind of visible in the public eye are nearly like they owe someone these updates and, like, getting into detail about how things are changing. And for some people, it's too personal. For me, I feel like I've shared a lot of personal things before, so it wouldn't really, that's not the reason why I just personally hasn't. It's really just because I feel like it's kind of boring, to me at least, to talk about it, because, again, it's just my life. It's just my body. I don't really see it as interesting. It's what I live with every single day. So a 5-minute video it seems more interesting, but to me, I don't really have a need to make that about something that I experience every single day, and I feel like it would be boring for my audience to watch, so maybe they'd be super interested. I don't know. I don't really have a good reason. I just... yeah. But I guess that's all I wanted to say in this video, really. Again, I'm not trying to insinuate that people who do make updates are, like, too focused on being trans or something like that. Really, truly, that is... I'm just explaining why I personally haven't really talked about it that much. Because again, it's just a normal part of my life, and I'm extremely lucky and extremely privileged, really, to be able to say that. And I can't, if I try to get my mindset back that I had when I was like 14, saying that is insane, but now it's just my normal. I feel very lucky. I don't appreciate that enough, I think. I think I take it for granted sometimes because, yeah, I don't know. But at the same time, I don't want to constantly walk around reminding myself that I'm trans. I'm gonna go now, but hope you like this video. Let me know what you think in the comments of this. If you can relate somehow, if you... Yeah, just your general thoughts on it. You don't have to like agree with how I feel about this. You can feel something completely different. That's fine. So yeah, hope you're hope you're well. Stay safe and eat, drink, and do not hurt yourselves. And remember that you're worth so much more than you could ever realize. Seriously. And I hope you're enjoying your summer or winter or whatever season it is where you are. Sorry, that's my Norwegianness kicking in. English is my first language. But yes, okay. Thank you for watching. Goodbye. Say goodbye, Dolphin. Goodbye. He fell asleep as I was filming.